Hi everyone. I don't know what is it with these lights. There's my eyesight. Okay, so we are on Second Marriage, Second Wife's Club, or Second Wife's Club, Second Marriage, Part 1. So, after my first marriage, I had quite a long period of time. Well, not real long, but I had a period of time between husbands. So, what I did was right away I applied to college because I wanted to be a nurse. My first husband, being an older husband, wanted me just barefoot and pregnant. That's the era that he was from. Kind of like my dad. My dad really loved my first husband. They got along real good. He took us to Niagara Falls a lot. He just got along. Sorry about my finger. Got along real well with my first husband. Not that he was his age, was he? God, no. I hope not. I'm trying to think how old he was. Let's see. No. But anyhow, he just got along with him. And my first husband was you called a brown noser, a people pleaser. He just got along with everybody, just like my second son. Not that he's a brown noser, but he just gets along with everyone. He's just like his father. He looks like his father. You can't tell him that. He doesn't like to hear that, but he just gets along with everyone. That's how my first husband was. So my dad really liked the first husband, but anyhow. Once we had a birthday party together. His birthday was December 21st. Mine was the 26th. Of course, he was many years older than me. But we used to have our birthdays together. And I remember a relative once bought us two candelabras. Basically, it's a fancy word for three candelier. A candelier? I don't know. They're three candles together, but two. And jokingly, she said, well, in case you ever get divorced, you each get one. And I didn't think nothing of it, like it was just a joke. Well, needless to say, we did end up getting divorced. But anyhow, so that marriage ended, and I'll fill in the gaps, especially for, I'm doing part 1 here and part 2 on my other channel, Sandy's Sweet Soups and Surprises. Sorry about my finger again. So anyhow, he didn't want the other candle holder, by the way. So that marriage ended. It was a very long divorce. It took forever and a day, my gosh. What basically ended that marriage was something happened to him. He was a very good provider. He changed. After we got married, he wasn't as loving. He wasn't as, lovey-dovey. He just changed like on a dime. Like he said I do, and then it was I don't. But, we were down in Arizona when we got married, so, there's a lot going on. I was bringing him to work, waked up early in the morning, had him at the job at 4 a.m. It's not my forte to get up in the morning. Dropped him off, stopped home, ate breakfast, cleaned a little apartment, went to school, came home, went over to the pool, came back, cleaned up a little more probably, got dinner going if I did in the crock pot, went and picked him up, and this was all he was home by, I went part-time, so he was home by I don't know what time, but anyhow, it was early. And I'll leave the rest of the part of the story about him for later, about the pool and the girls and on and on. But anyhow, I think I veered to the left. So anyhow, yeah, I did. I went back story. But anyhow, so that marriage ended in divorce. It was a long divorce because he just wanted to screw me to the wall, basically. He wanted to take everything. We had built a business. Well, I did. He was someone that I didn't know. He lived on unemployment. I had no clue. Well, I should have had a clue. Because once when I was over at his place, when he still lived here, we were dating, his landlord came to the door knocking real loud like a trooper. And I happened to answer the door for him. He says, "Where is he?" Now remember those words, knocking loud like a trooper. "Where is he?" I said, "Where's who?" And then he said, "He owes me rent money." So he comes to the door and he says, "Oh, blah, 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 work's been slow." He was in construction. So what did I do, being the good Catholic girl I was? I paid his rent. It was $50. His lot rental or something. I paid it. Okay, remember that story, because when I tell you about husband number 2, second marriage, second wife, second time around, remember this. Anyhow, so the divorce was long because he just wanted to take me for everything, because when we got together, all he came with was an alarm clock and a laundry basket. I had the car, I had the money, I had the brains, I had it all. And like I said, we had started a business. I started a business. I taught him how to be a man. He was living on unemployment. I did not know until we did our taxes together. I also did not know that he was not paying child support. And his ex-wife, if she only knew the real story, but she was messed up in the head. Yet she met us at times at the mall to see, his kid and all. And I kept telling him he should see his child. He didn't want to. So if she ever watches my channel or my other relatives back then, I always was telling him he should see his child. He's the one that didn't want it. This is the main reason, besides the baby we wanted to come back. I said, because, you should see your child. I used to send her gifts on her birthday and Christmas. And then the wife didn't like it, the ex-wife, and she sent a nasty note. I guess we're going backstory. The divorce will be, I guess, part 3. So anyhow, I did all this for him, and I kind of forced him to see his child. But the ex-wife thought I was just trying to hinder that. I guess she didn't know him very well. But I was the one who, when we were first married, came back. Well, came back. Being first married, coming back and going over. So I made arrangements. So we went to, she was living with her mother, his ex-wife, her mother and father and the daughter. And she was actually, I think she was 6. It was just around her birthday when we went. And we had our son, I think he was 1. I don't remember. Anyhow, we went there to this, I believe it was a motorhome trailer. No, it's a trailer. So we went there, and you can imagine, I was very young. I think I was 19. And so we go there with all these adults. Well, I'm adult too, but you know what I mean. So he's older than me. She's older than me. Of course, our parents are older than all of us. So we go there. It was uncomfortable, to say the least. We're all sitting at their table. I think it was in the kitchen, dining room. I don't know. And we walk in. The daughter was like, it wasn't even her father, really. Didn't really, whatever. We went, I don't know, my son might have been just not a year yet. He was in my lap. So anyhow, first we went into the living room and sat on the couch. And of course, the little girl came up because I had my little son, our son. Yeah, I think he was under a year. I do not remember. Yeah, because he was born in August, so he wasn't quite a year old. So anyhow, she just loved him and all, and she held him and everything. And she probably doesn't remember this, and I'm sure her mother never told her, because her mother painted a horrible picture about me. In fact, I think my first husband's wife, mother thought I broke their marriage up, but they were already divorced. Oh, another backstory. So I assumed he was paying child support. Well, one day when I was at school, my mom was she came to Arizona. It was when we were getting married. So she was there in my apartment. The sheriff or whoever's out there came to the door, wanted to arrest him for back child support. So he wasn't paying child support. I didn't know it. I assumed he was. That was a big mess in itself. But anyhow, so I should write my script down, what I'm writing, because now I forgot where I'm at, because this is very emotional. Anyhow, yeah, we're back at the ex-wife's place. So the little girl really just was, a liking to me. Of course, I'm sure her mother told her other things, because for a while, she was, later on in life, she was stalking my son, my oldest son, and all kinds of bad things. And I got a very bad letter with something from the scriptures turned around into what the devil would say. And then she says, I know it's you who's sending the gifts, and I don't want you to do that. It should come from her father. Instead of thanking me for sending the gifts, for trying to make him see that he should see his child. But I'm sure the child, who's now old, because, they were old, I'm sure she doesn't know any of this, and she probably hates me. But if she was any kind of normal person, she would listen to both sides, because there's always 2 sides to the story. But that's not here or there. It doesn't matter. But I wanted a relationship with her. In fact, after we saw her when we were leaving, the little girl said, oh, can I go home with you? Can I visit? Can I come visit? And the woman, his ex-wife, had a look of horror. And like I said, She had her kid. She was so obsessed with her child. When she went to the bathroom, she had the kid on her lap. And how do we know this? Because we had the same pediatrician, and she had a talk with us, and she said to him, this was all before HIPAA, does your ex-wife have mental problems? Because she says your child's allergic to this and that, and she takes her to the bathroom, and she sits on the lap, and on and on and on. And then we ended up, we had to pay all her bills. Well, we didn't have to. I just did with my money. She owed a lot of money, and for us to be able to get in that group, we had to pay off her bills. So anyhow, I was trying to do everything in my power as a young girl to have my husband see his daughter, but his ex-wife was very jealous of me. I don't know, because I was younger. I don't know. I was no threat. I didn't want her daughter. I had my own child. Yes, I'd like her to be a part of our family, you know, step-siblings. She didn't want any part of it. I didn't push it. It wasn't my place. So anyhow, that marriage ended in divorce. So I guess that's where we'll leave it, so it's not too long and boring. I should write little, like, bullet points so I don't go here and there, but if you've been around a while, you know I veer to the left all the time. And that's not political. I just always say to the left. So this is where we'll end. Second Wives Club, Part 2, Before the Divorce. If you want to hear the rest of it, go over to my other channel, Sandy Sweet Soups and Surprises. So for now, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, share, sharing is caring. Don't forget to pay for it. It feels good in your heart, probably heart in my heart. Don't forget to get to call a friend, help a friend, be a friend, do something nice for yourself and your neighbors, and most importantly, stay safe. Please share our channel so we can grow in our GoFundMe. I'd really appreciate it. So for now, bye everyone.